Zapier's just been
Perfect.
a freaking pain in the butt with trying to actually figure this out. So I'm gonna try and get some help over the weekend or throughout this week. Um, and hopefully, right after the holidays or before, then you guys will get emails of all these updates. But Mark, this is what's going on here. So send the sub 2 contract. I spoke to him. Seller gets $0, 100% sub 2. Or we're gonna do sub 2 to the solar loan and sub 2 to the mortgage. Blaze put All right, so Blaze put in here, I think yesterday, that the seller's email didn't work. All right, yeah, so this is where he's at. So I negotiated the deal. I got the yes. They agreed to this seller finance, no money out of pocket, the whole thing.
Great.
Blaze has to send the contract, but this is where he's at. You see, 3 hours ago, he called him 3 times. He's trying to get the email, the right email.
I have it right here. I can put it right here for you.
Is it? Yeah, that would be awesome. And then maybe he just took it down wrong if they gave it to him. I'll take that down though, or if you want to put it in the chat, Mark.
Yep, I'm putting it right now.
And then we can get that contract to him today. But yeah, that's an excellent deal. And then I guess the question is, since we're talking about it, once we get that signed, what do you want to do with the deal? Like, are we just looking to make a fee on this, or?
Yeah, just a fee on with it.
Okay, that's where our heads at. We'll just try and sell it for a fee.
I'm still waiting for my agreement. I talked to Josh today and his uncle, who also owns quite a bit of properties I'm going to try to get after this one closes. They tried to up the deposit on me. Like, that's not going to happen. The most I can do is give you 3 payments forward in escrow. Because if you're talking about security, then down payments are going to matter. If you're talking about security, me making payments, and why not just put that in escrow? So,
yeah.
That was earlier today. I'll give him a call back probably after the Zoom.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Brian, I see you in the chat.
But we're 10 days off from the COE I put on there.
The only thing I think of, if you're talking about skip trace, Brian, would be to try different platforms. So is that what you're getting at?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So he tried, like the Indiana Gov website. Nothing was popping up there, so they tried PropStream. So behind one of the houses looks like a multi-living, but nothing's popping up on PropStream for that or the house next door.
I'm with
I
you.
wanted to try and get both of those, but there's a field behind it, and that pops up. So I don't know.
You have the address though, like you have a property address, or is that what you're trying to figure out?
No, I had the property address. I got it off of Zillow because I live right down the street from it.
All right. So have you tried the county property appraiser?
I'm pretty sure that's what he tried.
It should 100% come up on property appraiser.
Well, it was weird because he said he's never seen anything like it. And I'm sure he's worked with you, so I'm sure he's done a lot of things, but I don't know how to even go about, if he can't find it, how I would even try and go find it, besides putting something on the door or something. But I mean, even then, I haven't seen anybody at those properties. I've lived there for 6 years. I haven't seen a single car at those properties. I mean, the grass gets cut, but I'm pretty sure it might be the town or neighbor. But,
okay. Let's do this if you could, Brian. If you just have an address to get me just in the general area, something where I could like just pull it up on a map just in general. If you could put that in the chat here and let me know when you do that, I could do a little bit of investigating on here. Maybe we could take a look into that.
Okay. Appreciate
just like
it.
Yeah, any address that's like close to it that I could pull it on a map and you could be like, yeah, it's right over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I could help you with that.
All right, cool. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, we'll do like maybe 5 minutes of questions if you guys have that many, and then we'll get into today's topic. Yeah, what's happening?
What's your what's your opinion when it comes to like, trying to generate leads in terms of like doing follow-ups and stuff like that, like doing lead generations and follow-up at the same time? Like I normally always like try to like before I get on the call with the agents, I normally try to structure the deal first, as in like trying to find the numbers and
Mhm.
how I could actually, go on it, like because I just recently started getting on the phone with these agents and I seem to be getting on catching the hang of it so far, but trying to like, wondering. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time when it comes to like trying to prep everything before I go on the phone with the agent. So I was actually wondering, what do you actually think would actually be the best advice to do when it comes to like trying to be more consistent when closing and get generating lead at the same time?
Yeah. So I'd say the difference between the person that closes one or two deals, right? So, oh, I closed something. Now I went a month or two and I didn't close nothing, or I closed two. Now I closed one, closed nothing. It's just very inconsistent. So the difference between the inconsistent wholesaler and the consistent one, um, there's a few variables, but I say one of the biggest things is going to boil down to the skill level at determining yes or no. Is this an opportunity worth pursuing, or do I dead the lead? Most wholesalers, I shared this story a while ago. So, as some of you guys know, I help build wholesale companies up. And this one company I was building up a few months back with these guys, they're like, yeah, our acquisition team, like they're not doing any deals. They're full pipeline, 60 plus follow-ups every single day. They're generating 3 to 5 leads every single day. Like Eric, they're doing everything you said for them to do. Why is it not working? Why aren't we making money?
Yeah.
So I went into their company. I'm like, all right, let me go into their pipeline. Let me see what's going on. Out of both of those guys, say, I forget their names, but
Yeah.
Mark has 60 leads, Joe has 50 leads. That's a lot of leads. Like you should be doing multiple deals a month if those are actual leads. And so when I went in there, what I was able to spot is there's no opportunity. You're doing 3 to 5 leads a day, quote unquote leads, but those aren't actual opportunity. Just because somebody has their hand up does not mean it's an opportunity for the potential. That's not a lead because somebody wants to sell their house. A lead is somebody where we see there's a potential opportunity for either wholesale, creative finance, or any of the other strategies we got, And so, like, I know you're mainly focused on wholesale. So it's like, is there an opportunity for a wholesale deal based on the conversation that I had with the person, right?
Uh-huh.
Like I was saying last week, wholesale, and I said it on live today too. Only two types of people you're going to be doing a wholesale deal on: either somebody in a very distressed situation, I need money really quick for X, or the property's so beat up it can't be lived in. So if you're doing lead generation on Zillow with Xander, I think that's what you guys are doing, right?
Yes.
Well, we don't know these people's situations. So if I'm on Zillow trying to do lead gen, I don't know their situation. So all I have to base, if I should click on it and call it, is the photos. Can it be lived in? Yes or no? Ideally, like I was saying the other week, I only want to start with the stuff that cannot be lived in. Once I exhaust all efforts there, okay, then fine. I'll look at some of the
Creative.
backdated listings or some of the stuff that's like it's dated, but somebody could live in it, or it needs a little bit of love, but
I mean,
really
like turnkey
not.
properties.
Yeah, maybe a little under turnkey. Maybe I'll explore some of those, but really what I'm trying to hone in on is just the stuff that can't be lived in. It's so beat up. Well, we're going to talk about negotiation today, Alex. So
Yes.
I think some of the stuff I'm going to cover in just a little bit will kind of help you out with crunching down that timeline to deal or no deal.
Yes.
So so we're about to get there. Ryan, I see you got your hand up. Question?
Yeah, I just had a question about the that deal we were talking about yesterday. Did that lady ever send you pictures?
Which one was that?
That was the one with the house and then the property next to it.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yep. We got the photos that's in negotiation now.
mhm.
I don't know the address. If do you know it, I could look at it real quick for you.
I don't know at all. Yeah,
Or this, I think it's Tampa, right?
yeah.
I think it's Brentwood Park. No, not that
No,
one.
I don't think it's that one.
It's I just went over it with the team on yesterday. She finally sent us the photos, looked at it. Melanie, this might be it. Hold on. No, this ain't it either. I don't know where it is, but it's in negotiation now. She made it sound like it was in pretty good shape on the phone when we got the photos. It is in good shape, but it's completely outdated. That's going to need 65 in rehab. So
Okay.
I'm thinking it's iffy on the wholesale, very iffy on the wholesale.
Okay.
If wholesale doesn't work, I'm thinking either sub or creative finance. If creative finance don't work, then the listing program.
Okay. And then what about the one, Jose, that was moving to Puerto Rico? Did we ever get that in contract? You were talking about something when we were on live yesterday. That might be
that
going in
one-
contract this week.
That one's all over the place because he had told me that he went in contract. Then one of the team members, I told him like, hey, it's in contract, see if it flops. They ended up calling him, and then I think they told somebody on my team that we could still work out a deal.
Mhm.
He may have gone back, and he's all over the place between like I'm in contract and I'm not.
Oh, okay.
That one's Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, that one was Jacksonville.
Hold on one sec. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. I think we actually got the deal, Ryan. Here's the update. So I started to negotiate that a little bit. Then it ended up going to Pozzo on the team. And I'm pretty sure we got the deal. We had to go up maybe a couple bucks. Now that it's coming to me, we had to go up maybe just a few dollars to get the contract on it. But it's still a deal. She sent the contract to him. Spoke
So we're
to
just waiting for it to be signed by him?
Yeah, so right here, I spoke to Jose. He's on board. He's at work. Called back at 3 to get contract details. So he's probably just trying to get his first, last name, email, and yeah, I mean, we should have that in contract too this week.
Cool.
Probably at least by Friday, I would think.
Right. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Eric, this is Mark real quick. I put that email that you wanted for the Riverside property. I want to make sure you just put it in your system. It's right there for Riverside. I put it in the chat for you.
Yep, I threw that in.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
We'll do a few more questions.
Hey,
Ronald.
Eric,
Yeah, what's happening?
sorry. I'll put that in the chat whenever you get a chance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that in just a minute here. I got you.
Thank you.
Ronald, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I was wondering if you were able to get anything done with that guy that you called on the live yesterday at Turtle Crossing Loop.
Pulling it up. I think I've been. No, I haven't. All right, so yeah, this is actually a really good opportunity too. I called this guy on TikTok live yesterday. My notes are. This is a very complex deal, but I'm able to give them a better seller finance deal with it's better than what they were initially looking for. So they wanted to do sub 2 or seller finance with 10% down, but they have a $75,000 mortgage. So 10% is only $57K. So that means they lose money off the initial purchase because they said, oh yeah, I'll pay off the $75,000 before close. So they were their mindset was, hey, I'll pay off the $75K loan and then I'll just collect 57 from some other buyer. So you're at a loss off rip. There's no gain off rip. So what I said was, hey, let me just buy it subject to the debt. And then I can't do 57 down. I could do 30, but that 30 would actually go in their pocket. Do you follow me with that?
Yeah.
So that's what I presented. The agent, I don't know if he was really grasping what I was saying. So I'm not screen sharing, but Melanie, she said that as a follow-up to see what the seller comes back to say. And that was yesterday. I guess it was maybe 2 days ago that I spoke to him. She called him yesterday afternoon, no answer. And it's in her follow-ups for today. So they run off of Central Time, so she'll be calling till 6 p.m. EST.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's going to get hit again today.
Thanks.
Eric, quick question.
Yeah.
Not trying to be weird or anything like that, but this thought just come to my mind. Like, you could definitely self-finance this such property, right? By just telling them that you would actually willing to give them like a 10% down, like, and you would actually purchase the property and sell it back.
Yeah, but there has to be enough spread for somebody to flip it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mario, what do you got?
Yeah. So
But it's
have
possible to
you
get them, right?
Yeah, absolutely, it's possible. 100%, definitely.
talked to Terrell at all or no?
He's been blowing my phone up today, but I haven't. I've been on camera since 9 a.m.
No, you're good, man. So on Friday, I had a deal in Charlotte.
Or Charlotte.
And North Carolina.
Okay.
I haven't dropped it to you guys. I was just talking to him about it because my ARV, what the realtor gave me was 720. But what him and I got was 830.
Okay.
So, and we did a bunch of different math with it, and I mean, at the very least, I could make 10K on it. But so with this one, so I talked to the realtor. I'm like, first I talked to her before I ran my own numbers and stuff, like ARV wise, and I got like 620. And so she goes, no, whatever you want to do. And so there was a verbal acceptance at 420 Thursday or Wednesday evening, I believe.
Okay.
So then I talked to Terrell. Terrell's like, I think you got a deal. But today, so then I called her back today. I said, I would be willing to do the 420. Do you think I should just close it like into the new year, or try to close it before this year ends?
For what? You paying taxes on it?
And it's just the wholesale deal. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't think it.
If you don't care when you pay the gain, then you can close it whenever.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was my only question. Because today I told her, I was like, it's just so up in the air. But like even Terrell's like that area is just getting super super expensive. Like ours is a 4.2, and there was a 2.2 sold for 3 or 840, I think.
Charlotte's nuts.
Yeah, it is crazy, dude.
I looked at quite a few deals for a while over there. It is. Yeah, I'd say go for it, Mario. Why not?
Yeah. So and then my plan is probably just drop it with you guys, and then so the EMD, I pay the EMD when I send the contract to you guys, or like drop it to you guys, or how does that work?
No, our buyer will pay the EMD.
Okay. So when do you want me to set the closing date?
Whenever you want to, as long as you give us like at least 3 to 5 days at minimum to shop it.
Okay. Because I think. Do you want me to send it to you? You want to look at it now?
I can't. I want to get rolling into the topic, but if we got time after, I can. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's fine. It doesn't. I just if you if you wanted to, it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, I ran through it with Terrell, and Terrell's like, dude, get this thing done.
Yeah, I would. Terrell is like one of the best people I know at comping properties out. He's just really good at it. Really good.
Yeah. So, and like I said, I just went based off what the agent said, but he's like, either her numbers are off, but like this property's been on the market for like 150 days.
Yeah.
And he needs like 50 to 60 in repairs. And even Terrell's like, even at 70, you're making money. So I think what I'll probably do, I'll do the closing date at the end, like probably at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's probably better too, just with our buyer.
Like on the 5th or something. Yeah, like on the 5th or something.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Because I think I told Terrell that I had it's listed for $495. I got him down to $400. So I had a guy at $470, but I don't know. He's like, I don't know anymore. He bought something else, or it is what it is. But
we use Investor Lift too, Mario. So like what I've noticed is some of these guys come in way higher than some of the dudes on my personal buyers list, the local dudes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
there's probably a pretty good shot at that, fair shot.
Yeah. So and then it's 50-50 if I bring the contract, right? Is what Terrell said.
We go 60-40. I think Terrell, if you worked with him, he brought a buyer 60 or 50-50. For us in the partnership, it's 60-40 just because there's people on salary and then obviously investor lift, couple $100 just to send out a deal.
Yeah. So is it 60 to you or 60 to me?
60 to the company.
Okay.
40 to
No,
you.
that's fine.
Yep.
No, that's fine. That was my only question.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, for sure. That's exciting too.
Yeah.
Brian, are you still with us?
Yes.
All right, here. Look what I found on here. What we're seeing. Let's take a quick look. I think I figured it out for you. Possibly. So it looks like crap. Hold on. There we go. So if you notice, like we see the lot lines here on Zillow, right? But like you see how you can click on some of these and it'll actually show you what's going on. If you notice, there's one right here in the street. And I think this is the lot that because this is what you're talking about, right? This strip of land.
So, I mean, it's the houses to the right of that one where it's just, I guess it's one lot, two houses, I would assume.
Yeah, like which one, I guess, are you interested in? Like, is it one of these long ones that are running all the way back, or?
Well, yeah, so that's so the houses don't have anything on them. It's just the acreage behind it would show something. So I'm assuming it's all one then.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just these little strips. It looks like I'm sure at one point it was all cornfield or whatever. And then they
see the one that you just showed, that one that your mouse is on to the right. There's two houses
right here.
Yep, those two. Yeah. So it's like in the middle of that lot behind there is where it shows the parcel at.
Yeah, this is just showing this is one big parcel on Zillow.
Okay, so then I guess that's what he came up with. It was an LLC, I guess.
Yeah, like if you want, I'll put this address in. This might get you the contact info for the right person. This address. That's my guess. I'll put it in the chat for you. It's in there now.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, I would call that one. So skip trace it, call the owner, and just be like, hey, I'm trying to get a hold of the person that owns the lot behind that house. And they might say it's them or have more info on it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's we still got a decent amount of time. So let's dive into today's topic. And then if we got time after, we'll do some Q&A and deal help. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about negotiations since it's been a long time. So let's just kind of dive into it. Let's start with Zillow, and then we'll start looking at some of the scripts and strategy and whatnot. So I'm going to jump to my market. And Alex, if you're still with us, what I'm about to speak on is exactly it's exactly what you were asking me. I can pull it up. All right, let's see. Here we go. All right, so if we were doing lead gen on Zillow, as we just said, we're only going to be looking at stuff that's extremely beat up, right?
Oh, yeah, beat you cock. Oh.
This is Charlie guy.
It's like
that
what?
Fucking idiot. That fucking idiot always comes back in here.
Crazy. All right. Anyways, let's keep going.
All right.
So, as you were just saying, right? So we come into the market, we don't know these people's situations, so all we really know, or all we can really base it off of, is the condition. Looking for stuff that's extremely beat up on the wholesale game. So, open this guy up. Looks a little rough. Yeah, perfect. Exactly what we want. So this is something I would call on. Now, the big thing is, Alex, I don't know if I heard you wrong or whatnot, but we never ever want to analyze any deal before we actually have a conversation with them. So like, all right, it's beat up, worth calling on, potentially an opportunity here, maybe. But I'm not going to comp it out. I'm not doing ARV. I'm not trying to determine the repairs or any of that. Not even my offer. Nothing. Just I found a beat up home. Let me give them a call. Now, when we call, bro, this guy's too much. I got to keep an eye on for him. Let's see if we can keep going. So we identify the property, super beat up, cool, exactly what we want. I'm not running any numbers yet. Now, one thing that really slows down a lot of wholesalers is actually the comping out, right? So maybe we have a combo, cool, and then a wholesaler's like, all right, let me come up with an offer. So they waste 20 minutes trying to come up with that offer. What's the ARV? What's the updates? Calculate all that, and then you call them back to present the offer. And then what happens more times than not? Oh, that's too low. No, they're not going to take that. And then you end up just wasting.
What's going on?
Just give her the 83.
Got him. Removed him. Bingo. Hopefully that was him. All right. So as I was just saying, totally sidetracked me now 3 times.
No, like you was actually mentioned about the property.
Yeah. So like I was saying, it could take a lot of time to comp the property and to come up with the offer. So when you're brand new and you're not quick, you don't know the market, you can't look at something and know ARV and updates. What I want you to do is you're going to ask the agent on that initial phone call for their opinion of the after repair value, their opinion, or what everybody else is saying it's going to cost to fully renovate the home. Then based off of those numbers that they give you, you're going to calculate the offer and softly present it to them. So I did no research. I just see, all right, this may be something that's super beat up. Call them up, tell me about the condition, what's the story, what's the situation, cool, everything you do on a normal phone call. And then we just go a little bit further in it. All right, awesome. Let me just ask you, real estate agent, what do you think this thing's worth all fixed up? Probably around like 250, whatever. And always be conservative. A lot of these agents, they'll overshoot it. But ask them for their opinion. You could also, tighten that question down a little bit. What do you think it's all worth, fixed up, like guaranteed I could sell it for, like real conservative. So if you frame it like that, they'll give you a pretty realistic number. They give you the ARV, and then I ask them, all right, and what do you think people are saying to fully update the house? If you maybe have an idea because you've been doing this a little bit and you've been looking at the repair calculator and the sheets, maybe you have a rough idea and I could spit it out. Hey, I'm thinking about 60. Is that what other people are saying it's going to cost to rehab? Yeah, everybody's probably around that 60, 50, 60 is what people are saying. All right, awesome. Let me give me 1 second here. I want to tell you where I have to be at. And just put them on hold. If you're quick and you do this a few times, you'll get faster with it, where you can just do it in real time, right? I got the call on speaker. What do you think the ARV is? Cool. What's everybody saying the updates are? And I just, boom, right there, calculate it, spit out the rough offer. The important piece, and if you can't do it that quick, take your time. There's no rush with these people. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me see where I'm at. You can take a minute. That's fine. And then when you come back, this is the most important piece. We're going to softly present the offer. So like, hey, based on the numbers you gave me, I'm probably somewhere around maybe like 110 on the property, maybe 120, somewhere up in there. Right. So we're not like honing in like, hey, I'm at 155 and that's the most I could do. I'm ballparking it. Hey, I'm in this range. This is where it becomes valuable. We're going to, based on their response, that will allow us to determine if it's worth pursuing. We further go into it, or we just dead it and move on. Right. So if I make the offer, I say like on this one, hey, based on those numbers, I'm probably between like 120, 130. Yeah, absolutely not. That's way too low. Great. I just saved myself so much time because I could just dead the lead and I don't have to comp it, come up, calculate the numbers and then call them back and present an offer just to get that same response. You're collapsing the timeline to deal or no deal. That's what I said in the beginning.
To be honest, that definitely make a lot of sense. Come think of it, because I realized that I've been trying to actually put in try to come up with the numbers and everything before I reach out to the agent or anything like that, just to get a no answer. And I realized that I'm really wasting time. So what would actually be the best strategy for me to really to generate a lot more leads, a lot more short moment of time, and in a quick speed.
The wholesale game is speed, and then how fast can you say deal or no deal to something? That's it, right? And then also getting good at spotting opportunity too. But that is it. This is based on their response. How are they responding to it? Now, there's different. Let's talk about the different types of responses. How an agent could respond to this, right? So we might get the hard no. Yeah, absolutely not. That's not going to happen. And you can investigate it. Oh, why not? Oh, because we had offers higher than what you presented, and the seller already turned them down. All right, great. Waste of time. I'll move on. Or they maybe they're a little vanilla, like they're not really giving their opinion. They're like, I'm like, yeah, we got to be around 110, 120. Okay, yeah, just write it up. Well, that doesn't tell me if this is worth pursuing or not. So if you get somebody that's kind of like that, go a little deeper into the questioning. Do you think there's a shot the seller takes it? What do you think the odds are that we get the deal? Do you think it's a waste of time if I write this up? Stuff like that. No, it's not a waste of time. I think, do you think we got a fair shot at getting this deal? Yeah, I think you got a real opportunity. Awesome. Great. Let's pursue it. Let me run some numbers further. I'll lock in my actual number and present it. So look to investigate it. You can get the hard no.
Basically, you're giving yourself a little estimate of knowing if you have a chance of having this deal closed or not. Because, if it's a potential lead, or if it's a case where they're really motivated to get rid of it, or it's just they're just fresh on the market and decide that they want to hold on to it a little more longer. You just give your estimate to know if you're going to waste your time by running on numbers and, then just to get an answer as either no, or you could definitely know that's not a deal.
Yep. Now, the third piece, right? So we can get a hard no. We can get somebody that's a little vanilla, or obviously then we get the yes, right? So like, yeah, that'd be a good offer. Let's write it up. But always look to try and really validate that, and that's only going to come through the questions that we ask them, right? So yeah, no, write it up. Awesome. Do you think we can get this deal? Yeah, no, I think you got a good shot at this. Great, let's do it. Or do you think we can get this deal? I don't know. Could be iffy. Explore it further. What do you think the odds are that we get this? Do you think there's a shot? Am I wasting my time? It's those types of questions that give us a lot of insight as to worth pursuing or dead the lead, move on.
So
go ahead.
What's your opinion when you actually when it comes to like the agent giving you a hard time with a deal, giving you information and stuff like that? Do you try to like calm them down, or do you like just leave the lead alone and just leave it as it is if they're giving you a hard time with answering your questions?
I don't know. Some of these people are really, really weird like that. No, I normally just try and persist past it.
Oh, okay.
I just keep going. That's the other thing. You'll start to learn, like Alex, you're new. Everybody else that's new to doing this wholesale game, you'll start to I don't know. You'll start to feel people out. Like I'm at a place where like I feel like I can categorize certain people, and like I know how much I could ask.
Based on energy.
I could ask. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, what you're saying, based on the vibe that I'm getting from these people. And then you'll start to get your own flow where you're smooth with it. One of the big things.
Basically, like once you could have a flow where it's not like you're chasing it, you just flow with it. It's a deal, it's a deal. It's not a lead, it's not a lead. And if they're gonna give you a hard time, because by the end of the day, you're structuring it like, okay, you're the investor. You want to know that if you're gonna invest in this property, it's gonna make sure that it's gonna guarantee you cash flow, guarantee your money, and making sure that you're not losing on the end of the day that you're spending in your money in that property. So you're gonna take your time out, ask questions that need to be answers. What's the issue on the property and so forth. So for whichever agent that actually giving you a hard time, not trying to answer, like, even though I don't expect them to actually be a contractor that's gonna know everything that's wrong with the property, but if they give me a hard time, it's a hard time.
What I would say is this too. A lot of newer wholesalers get sniffed out pretty quick from the seasoned people, seasoned investors, seasoned agents, stuff like that. I think one thing to note is the questions, right? What questions are we asking? And what I've noticed is most wholesalers, they ask way too many questions, way too much, and that's what kind of gives the red flag. If I was a seller and somebody's calling me up and they're like, what's the roof? What's the HVAC? How old's the electric? When's the plumbing? Do you know the age of the windows? Do you know the age of this and that and that and the third? And how about the foundation? Like, you're asking way too many questions that most people just don't ask. Right? Like, if you pay attention to my phone calls, the question is, what is it still for sale? Great. I'm looking at the photos. I could see it's in decent shape. Anything wrong with it that I can't see in the photos? I'm not going into the roof and the this and the that unless I could see something maybe as it looks older in the photos or something like that. Then I might explore some of those details, right? But most of the time, I'm keeping it on a blanket level. You know, I'm not really getting super deep into all these little details. Keep it light. You know, all I need to know is the condition. I got eyes. I can see what's going on with the house. Any surprises that I can't see? Great. They say no surprises. Then I don't have to ask about the roof and the HVAC. And if those become issues down the road, great. Now I got a whole lot of ammo to renegotiate the deal. Hey, seller, we contracted at 100. I got to be at 80 because you didn't tell me the roof is leaking and you didn't tell me the HVAC is shot. So like I'll ask about the surprises. If I see like this one, tarp on the roof, is it leaking? Is it old? Or can it be saved and patched? You know, I might ask if I could physically see something like the roof looks older or whatever, then I might ask about those little details. But most of the time I'm not, you know, at least not on the initial phone call.
Well, basically, you just don't want to actually poke the bear too hard, you know, on the first call. You just want to like softly try to, you know, making sure that you just warming the conversation. Make they have knowing that you have an interest of making sure that you're trying to purchase the property. You have an active interest, not like you're acting out as a seasoned investor where you're trying to, you know, highlight that, oh, what's the, you know, the agent of the roof, what's the agent of that, you know, for they could understand that, okay, you're new to this, because you need definitely. Like the fact that you're asking me so many questions about roofing and all that, you should know that an agent not going to know all of that. So
no, and that's what the property disclosures for. That's gonna have all the info on it. You know, so like these seasoned people, man, just you want to sound more seasoned, just keep it. You know, don't ask too many questions on that first phone call because you're just sounding like you're reading off of a script like everybody else. So, you know, just be yourself and just have your own natural flow. Don't ask too many questions, and that's really it. Keep it light. Don't be too crazy. Or you're just gonna sound like every other wholesaler. All right, let's keep ripping here. So one other little thing, I should have said this earlier, but you know what I think about in my head too when I'm doing lead generation like this,
yes,
is I try and answer two questions, right? So what is the opportunity, and then when is the opportunity? You have to answer those two on every single phone call. So I speak to them after the phone call ends. I'm thinking, is there an opportunity here based on that convo? Yeah, possibly. All right, great. What is the opportunity? Is it wholesale, creative? You know, what's the play? And then when is the opportunity, right? Get good at those three. Is there an opportunity that's going to be based on the convo, the situation, everything we just discussed? Is there an opportunity? Yeah, possibly. Now, what is the opportunity? Then when is the opportunity? Always thinking about that, because I might call somebody up today and I give them an offer and it's a no today because it's only been on for 1 day. But this house is so shot that eventually it's going to sell for the right price because it has to be sold to an investor. So now it may be just a question of when, right? If they truly have to sell it, then it's a when, right? And that's going to be down the road. You know, all right, yeah, I see a wholesale.
You know what I just realized, what I just noticed since you actually mentioned that? I just noticed that because I actually was start off in doing like trying to, you know, knowing how to get into wholesaling by doing fix and flip, by trying to find distressed properties, right? But because of Zulu, and for me being in Jamaica right now, and I didn't have the cash to say, okay, I'm gonna try to generate leads or anything like that. I only have Zulu as a free access and Facebook, right? So I was actually saying that I barely could actually find like constant leads on Facebook. So I was actually saying, okay, Zulu have the numbers, Zulu have like a lot of properties leases on it. So I was actually saying to talk to the agent, because most videos that I come across, it was saying that, okay, agents normally going to give you a hard time, so don't focus on the on-market properties. So I was like, okay, not really focus on on-market properties. Until I end up come across Pierce Morby when he actually talked about the creative. And I started, you know, to say, okay, the only way I'm really going to try to more likely to get a deal is like try to get into the creative, since it's, you know, on Zulu, they say that I could actually find deals. So I was actually saying, okay, I try to get into creative and started to get into talking to the agents, but still working on it. But I started structuring it by filtering my filters by just looking from properties online that's been on the market for like 100 days or 200 days, 300, that's, you know, more likely to actually, you know, sell in a kind of sense, where I just try to find like properties with a a low interest rate and properties where have like facing like close to foreclosure that's have a mortgage on it and they actually want to leave, like stuff like that. They want to get rid of the property. So those are how I used to actually filter my filters and structuring the deals. And then I started getting to the fix and flip now, or actually try to make offer on distressed properties. No, I'm actually trying to learn how to actually filter these filters. Could I do it the same as properties on the market for a long time or recent properties that just got on?
Both. Yep. Yeah, go through the Mastermind V1, Alex, and look at the lead gen. I think the video is called Dominating on Market. Check that one out. But yeah, man, both for sure. All right, let's keep pushing here. So, remember, is there an opportunity? Then what is the opportunity? When is the opportunity? Try to always answer those three. All right, now let's talk a little bit more on the negotiation. This is probably some stuff that you guys haven't heard before. So, let's see how we should dive into this. All right, so when it comes to negotiating these deals, this is huge, and I say 99% of the people don't know this. When it comes to somebody, when they have an asking price, I got my house up, I want $100,000 for the home. They only ask their asking price for one of two reasons, and that almost applies to anything anybody sells, period. People are asking the price that they're asking for one of two reasons, either logic or emotion. You have to be able to determine which one is it. Is it they're basing the price off of logic or emotion? Because if you don't know that, then you have no clue how to negotiate these deals at all. You're doing it blindly, completely blindly. So what I'm getting at is logic or emotion, right? I want $100,000. If it's logic, then it's logic thinking as to why they want $100,000, which would be what? I want $100,000 because I had 3 real estate agents tell me they could list the home for $100,000. I want $100,000 because my neighbor's house, down the street, that sold for $100,000. Or it could be a combination of those things, right? So logic or emotion. Emotion would be, I want $100,000 because I need $100,000 to go do X. I need $100,000 so I could buy my next home. I need $100,000 to pay off the credit card debt. I need $100,000. I need to sell it for this price so I could accomplish X. Right? Emotion is, I need this price so I could do this over here. Right? So you have to determine why are they basing the price. Is it logic or emotion? That has to be determined. That is why I explored the situation. That's why one of the questions in the script that you guys have is what? How do you come up with 100,000? That more times than not, we'll just answer it. Oh, I need 100,000 to buy the next new home. Oh, I need 100,000 because that's what the agent said. So, you have to be able to determine, is it logic or emotion, how they base that price. Now, once you can determine which one it is, logic or emotion, that determines, or that tells us how we need to negotiate the deal. If somebody is logic based, I want 100,000 because the agent told me that, then you can't go into their situation because that's not going to get the deal done more times than not. You have to negotiate the deal with logic. If it's emotion, then we'll go that route. Let's start with the logic piece, right? So,
You get it, like when they actually trying to do logics, is basically like you get into creative because you're willing to actually pay them their asking price, but unless
that's true. No. Nope. So we're talking strictly about wholesale deal, right? Okay. So logic or emotion, we have to determine. If somebody's logic, I want 100,000 because that's what the agent told me. That's what the neighbor's house is selling for, whatever. If it's logic, then I need to combat it with logic, which would be, if you guys are taking notes, I call this reverse comps. These tend to be the most powerful. No, I haven't found one person talking about this. Reverse comps are going to be properties, right? Comps, other homes, similar homes in the area, except what we're looking for is homes at the price that they want, but the home is much nicer, bigger, or whatever. It's better for one of those reasons, right? So seller, look, you want 100,000, but there's a house right down the street for 100,000. It's 2,000 square feet. It's got a brand new kitchen, brand new, bath, fully updated. I'm also looking at another one. They sold that for 85,000, same size as yours, really good shape, and that had an in-ground pool. So reverse comps, their properties at the same price. They either sold or are listed for sale, but they are much better for some reason. They're bigger, either fully updated or some other aspect to it. Why it's better than the subject property by a lot. Do you follow me with this? And so what that does is you're discrediting what they want for the property. Seller, you want 100,000, but I'm looking at another house 2 doors down for 100,000. It's got an in-ground pool and a new kitchen and a new bath.
That's a really powerful.
I'm looking at 239 Wood Avenue. That house is 3 times the size.
Basically, hit them with a comeback.
And so what you're doing is you're completely discrediting their logic behind the price that they want. And what you want to do is, this is so powerful. People don't believe what they see or hear. They believe what they see. So send screenshots of Zillow. That's what we do in our office. We'll screenshot the comps. They see the address. They see when it's sold, the amount that it's sold for, and they see the condition and all the details. Just screenshot the Zillow, send 4 or 5 over to these people. How do they argue with that? You want 100,000. I just emailed you 4 properties that sold for 100,000 that were much better than what you got. Do you understand the power? You see the power in that?
That's huge.
Super powerful. It's disgusting how that works if you could pull that off right. So always use reverse comms as your start with the logical piece. Then it is appropriate to use actual comps. Seller, you want 100. I told you I got to be at 65. The reason I'm there is because look at 238 Bird Ave. Same size, same condition, same everything. That thing only sold for 40. Right. So actual comps supporting our offer are homes in the exact same size, condition, everything, but sold for less than what we're offering. But reverse comps, these are going to be the most powerful thing you could use. It's insane how it works.
What happened to Eric?
I don't know what happened.
I thought the whole Zoom froze. That shit is powerful though. Reverse comps, I didn't even think about that.
To be honest, I'm like a Scorpio. I have a tendency to actually always do deeper digging and research and everything that I'm actually doing. So he mentioning that was something that I thought of before, but I didn't think it was something that even really necessary. But he mention it right now, just clear my head, make I be like,
holy shit, mind blown.
My bad, guys. I got kicked from
this. Is my second time coming on this live, and I realized that I learn a lot each time I be on this live. So I got to be over here a little bit more often. It's just like I got so many things trying to get done at the same time, and I feel like this wholesale real estate thing come like a whole job, like a whole system itself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I don't know where I cut out, guys.
Something about like right after the reverse comps.
Exactly.
Like talking about how powerful it was, basically.
Yeah, the best part.
That's pretty much it, right? So trying to determine logic or emotion, how are they based in the price? That determines if it's logic, then always go right into reverse comms. Obviously, you could hit other selling points too. We could talk about the house needing work. We could talk about the numbers. Hey, I don't make any money. If I buy it for 100, I lose money, seller. Right? We could do all of that stuff too, but you have to negotiate that deal off of logic, pure logic. All right, now let's talk about emotion. All right, so seller, apart from the getting the right price, why else are you looking at selling it? Oh, I need to sell it because I got this issue going on in my life or whatever. So when somebody is basing the price off of emotion, I rarely ever speak about the comps, how I don't make any money on the deal. Most wholesalers, most people in general trying to negotiate a real estate deal, it's all me. Like that's their focus. I can't make money. I have to be at this price because your home needs 60,000 in rehab, and I have to be at this price because that's the only way I make money as an investment. People don't care what you can't do. They only want to hear what you can do. So just stop putting all that on. They don't want to hear that. That's not going to do it. It needs to go into, so if it's emotion, if you guys
find out the situation and how you can help them in it.
Now, all of this that I'm talking about, this is more for direct to seller than agent, which we could talk about later. I just want you guys to keep that in mind. But when I go into, hold on, when I go into a negotiation and it's emotion based, that's how they base that price. If you guys notice, my combos direct to seller, it's all questions, investigating their situation. The mindset is, how do I get them what they're trying to do? And that's really it. What do they really want to accomplish, and how could I get that to them? Right now, most of the time, you don't really know what they want to accomplish. An example of that would be this: seller, why do you want to sell the house? Oh, we're just looking to move, right? So it's more emotion based than logic, right? But we don't know why they want to move. That really don't tell me anything. Okay, they want to move, but why? Why do they want to move? So I would ask them, it's just all, you're like being a detective. You're getting really into the details of their situation. Awesome. Where are you looking to go? Maybe I could help you find that next house. Oh, we're going to Texas. Awesome. What has he going there? And I'm telling you, when you start to investigate this stuff, stuff will unwind, unpack. They'll start dropping some heavy stuff on you. Oh, we got to go down to Texas because we got this issue going on, or whatever. Now it's getting deep, and you have a lot more insight as to what's really going on here. Motivation level, how it can maybe help these people out, provide value apart from just a good number on the deal, right? So it's the investigation. Now look how powerful this is. Do another example with that. Oh, you're looking to move. Awesome. Where are you looking to move to? Texas. Okay, cool. Let's say maybe I did some more digging. What has he moving? We just want to go over, be closer to family. All right, so nothing too deep there, right? Now watch. I'm going to explore the situation further. Awesome. Are you guys looking to buy or rent? Oh, we're looking to buy. All right. I might be able to help you find that next home. What price point are you guys looking for? Probably around like 200,000. Awesome. And I'm guessing you're going to get an FHA loan. Yeah. That's exactly what we're doing. I'm just questioning these people. It's all questioning, setting myself up to properly do a negotiation here. Awesome. So you're going to get an FHA loan somewhere around a 200,000 purchase. FHA guys.
Where's the family live?
Yeah, the FHA, that is the most common loan for people looking to buy a house, right? FHA, if you don't know, it's 3.5% down. So do the math. What are they trying to accomplish, and how much money do they need to accomplish X? That is the mindset. What do they want to accomplish? How much money do they actually need? More times than not, people don't need that much money to be able to move. Now watch, and this has happened. Hold on. This has happened many, many times. I want 200,000 for the house. Awesome. You're moving. Where are you moving to? I'm guessing you're getting an FHA. Yeah, I'm going to get an FHA. Awesome. So they need 3.5% of 200,000. Maybe throw an extra 3% on there. Call it 8% they need to get that next home and make that transition. So they need 8% of 200,000. That's $16,000. They need 16 grand to move, not 200 in their pocket. Or whatever the price was, right? And that's exactly how we can do it. Awesome. So, and this is all after. This could all be done after I present a price. Oh, that's not going to work. Awesome. I mean, well, what do you guys need the 200,000 for? Oh, we need it to move. Great. And now I'm right. You see, this is how we pivot off of the sticking point. I think way too many people in negotiations, they get stuck on the sticking point. The sticking point is the price gap. I want to be at 80. They want 100,000 for the house. And then you're just trying to battle and you got nothing here. Well, the comps are this and the house needs work and I can't make money as an investor, blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, you're in this vicious freaking cycle with these people that end up going nowhere. So when you get in that sticking point, there's a lot you could do, but try and revert back into their situation or into logic, right? Is it logic or emotion? We determined that earlier, right? And then go back into that. If you didn't accomplish that yet, so say I spit out the offer, 80,000. That's too low. Look, I get it. I know it's definitely lower than what you wanted. I mean, why do you need the 100,000? Are you looking to move? And if they're not looking, that is my go-to piece, guys. I almost write that thing down. When you get on that sticking point, that's too low. Go right back into the questions, right? Well, why do you want 100,000? Are you looking to move? Use that as your go-to because people love to correct people, right? I'll say, hey, are you looking to move? Even though maybe they're not, because they'll end up correcting me. No, I'm not looking to move. We need this to do blank, right? And then I'm going deeper into the situation. Do you see how I pivot off of that? So you got the price thing, right? Let's see, we determined its emotion, how they came up with that. 80,000 is too low, Eric. Awesome. Why do you need 100? Are you looking to move? No, we're not. Yeah, we're looking to move. Awesome. Where are you looking to move to? I might be able to help you out. Do you see? I'm totally off of that sticking point in that deal.
I'm not gonna lie, you be screwing up some screws in my head, like literally like certain things that I was actually thinking about, but I was actually not sure. Now you literally start putting things in place because I used to think like that just the same to be like, okay, if they actually we talking about getting a loan, because normally whenever some people actually decided the reason why they want to move, because normally we trying to get into motivation, see what's the issue is. Is it the case where as where you talk about if it's either a emotional state they're actually in, or is this because another state where they'd be like, okay, because they hear that okay they could actually get their house sell for that price, and that's the reason why they want that price, right? So the same situation when it comes to motivation now, where if it's the emotional state they're in, where they decided okay the reason why they want this is because they actually moving or they got a job or at a different state and they want to move and they don't want to actually be having two properties at the same time. So they just want to get rid of this one. And then you be like, okay, you get into it and be like, okay, as an example, is just come back with the mortgage, knowing that, okay, is it that you guys going to rent or you have a family you guys want to stay with? And if it's a case where it's rent, they're going to rent and you want to do, and it's like, they're not rushing to be like, okay, they want all of the money right now. And use a situation, okay, they really want to get rid of the property. And then that's how you come in to actually have understand how you can negotiate your terms based on your offer, where you want to structure it. If you want to actually know that, okay, based on if it's, okay, we're doing distressed properties, right? Or distressed properties, example, right? And, distressed property would actually be a property where, that nobody lives in it. It's vacant. So that's a property they would actually be either inherited or it's a property that they decided, okay, they don't want to deal with it anymore and they just want to get rid of it. And it all depends on their situation based on how you structure a deal. But a lot of people only focus on some of the script where you're just saying, okay, you're speaking on this and because you focus on the script too much, you're stirring from the old situation with the owner to actually really structure the deal. You just have to understand that how a deal is supposed to structure is that you understand that, okay, it's going to be closed, it's supposed to be on a contract. You have to understand the difference between certain loans or what's the issues on the property, if it's clear or it's not, to really have understanding how to really structure a deal. Not every deal is structured based on only seller finance or only sub to or only this. It all depends on the situation.
Absolutely. You listen to the phone calls I make, it's all questions coming out of my mouth. I'd say maybe 10% of the convo is me explaining something to somebody. Unless it's a sub 2, that's different. If it's a normal listing, that's different. But more times than not, it is pure investigation into these people's situation. And remember, like I said in the beginning, it's wholesale deals. It's either really beat up or there's pain attached. So if I start going into their situation, anytime you're on that sticking point, like I was saying, the price, get off of the sticking point as fast as possible. Maybe try a trial close, right? So, it's a little lower. Look, I mean, it's not a disease. Let's just do it. And if they don't close off of that, great. I'm going to go back into trying to sell this deal. And it's all the questions. Now, let's go. I feel like we're all over the place a little bit.
Sorry.
But let's say let's go back to that example, right? Yeah, Eric, 80's way too low. Yeah, look, I totally get that. I mean, why do you want the 100? Oh, we're looking to move. Awesome. What has you moving? Oh, we want to get another house, so it's somebody well off. So right there, I might investigate a little bit further. Awesome. Any other reason, you want to sell it? Anything else going on? No, that's it. We don't have to sell it. Great. So it goes right back to what I was saying. Wholesale deals, there's either pain or it's super beat up. If it ain't super beat up, then I'm deading that lead because the guy's got no pain. Right. So there's no reason to chase that if I'm not able to get that deal. There's no pain with that guy. He doesn't have to sell it. And you're only going to know all of this stuff when you really start to investigate these situations. Man, negotiation and closing and selling and all this stuff, this is by far the most neglected thing in every single industry. And I'm telling you right now, this is what makes the difference between the superstars in the sales arena and all these industries and everybody else. You want to be exceptional. You want to be in the 1% group and be a killer closer. All it takes is training. You know, if you guys, for those of you guys that are new, if you haven't heard me say it, my first phone call, I had to hang up. I almost passed out. I said, yeah, you want to sell the house? He said, yeah, I want to sell it. Dude, like, couldn't see nothing. Ears are ringing. I almost passed out. And every phone call was like that for a minute. And the only reason I feel like I'm semi-good at this point is because I do this every single day. I role play. I don't just make phone calls. Every single morning, I spend an hour practicing the closing pieces, listening to mindset, listening to sales material, all of that. And I've been doing that for a few years now. You know, so that's the difference. You can't think like, all right, I'm going to try some of this. You have to commit. You have to make the commitment. And what this does, not to ramble, this increases your conversion. When we had the office, all right, cool, we're doing deals. You could all do deals without being nobody, put it this way, like I said earlier, 99% of people, they don't train in sales at all. Think of all the real estate agents and all the wholesalers that are making money. Look at you, Alex. You're in Jamaica. You don't do sales training, and you still close the deal. So anybody could close a wholesale deal with no experience, no sales training. But what sales training does is it increases your conversion. When we had the office booming a couple of years back, 20 plus guys in there. Yeah, we're doing a bunch of deals. Each acquisition on the team. Okay, yeah, they're closing deals too. But when we dropped a lot of money with Cardone on his sales training platform, we got the team on that. They got to do it after work too. Dude, within 3 or 4 months, it did exactly what Cardone promised. He promises a 30% increase in conversion. It did exactly that, maybe more, to be honest. It blew my mind how much more deals we were actually closing on. You know, so if you really think about it, if you got 100 leads in the pipeline with no skill, maybe you'll close 3. If you got skill, maybe you convert another 2. You do that every single month. Now you're up to what? An extra 25 deals a year. What is that? An extra 200,000-300,000? You understand? So that,
like, about the practice.
People, dude, I'm telling you right now, like, people, they don't see the dollar sign behind the action, and that's the problem. Oh, I'm going to role play every morning, but there's no dollar behind that. You just can't see the dollar behind that. That's the thing. You don't see the dollar behind it. The other thing too, with trying to role play every single day and getting good rehearsal material.
You know what was my downfall?
Hold on. What else, before I lose the train of thought, Alex?
All right, sorry.
The biggest thing is when you start role playing, if you guys haven't heard me say this, when I was a newbie wholesaler, started doing deals, started listening to some Cardone material, I only tried it for 3 months. I'm like, all right, yeah, me and my brother, we're the ones doing this together. And we're like, all right, let's kick the day off and we'll read the script and try and get better every single day. And so we did that for about 3 months. Really saw no progress. I'm like, all right, I feel like a little better at knowing what to say. I got a couple pieces down, cool. But I didn't notice a conversion. And at that time, I dropped it. I said, nah, this stuff don't work. This whole sales thing these guys talk about, that don't work. Wholesale is all about numbers. I just have to get it in front of enough people to close. And even though that's true to an extent, right? We have to have people to close. The more people in front of, higher conversion. With the role play, it doesn't work until you do it for at least 8 months to a year period. The way I compare role play is like working out. You're not going to the gym for 3 months and you're not going to stand on a stage and now be in a bodybuilding show. That's not going to happen. You're probably maybe dropped a few pounds. You're not going to look freaking jacked like a bodybuilder. It's the same thing with the role play. It takes time. It's a muscle that has to be developed and grows over time. But it just starts with a commitment. And the other thing too is, the rehearsed closing pieces and training in the negotiation. This is way beyond the real estate space. I can't even tell you, like Cardone says, don't take it the wrong way, but he says, like, dude, the way you get anything you want in life is to be able to negotiate and sell and close. And that's the reality of it. I close so many deals in the real estate space, I think more than most, just because I train. But then also in life, dude, I get my way just in life more times than not because I know how to persuade and negotiate. That's it. So you have to be able to lean into it. It's going to have a massive impact, more than what you guys initially think, really.
I feel like my setback was because I actually was using the seller finance, not seller finance. I was actually using the way of talking to the seller, the way I actually use a script talking to the seller. I was actually mixing the script talking to the script seller script to the agent. So the conversation wasn't really like trying to flow in the right direction in a kind of sense, because like questions and that I would actually be asking and try to get the motivation out of the seller. It's hard to actually really get that out of an agent. So it was like, nah, I need to switch it up a little bit. The same the way I actually supposed to talk to the seller with the seller script, I just need to apply it to the agent a little bit more different. Because with the seller, you could actually try to figure out their situation more, but with the agent, they're just really worried about their commission.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, most of what we're talking about today really just applies a lot more to the for sale by owners doing that stuff. All right, last little thing I'll say, one thing to keep in mind too is there's a winner and loser in every single deal. I've said that many times here. The winner is the person that can persist the longest. One thing that we do in the office when we role play, and that's every single day, is the goal is to get to a level 10. A level 10 is I'm getting punched in the face again and again. They're screaming at me, they're cursing me out, a lot of emotion involved, they're hot, their temper, whatever. Just really, really, max intensity, if you will. And everybody's goal should be to get to a level 10. When you can get to a 10, that means you could persist through anything. I never, like where I'm at today, I'm at a level 10. I will never run out of stuff to say. And that's where you want to be. I want to get to a place where I never run out of stuff to say, but there's also a lot of strategy behind what I'm saying. I'm not just randomly like, oh, what do I say here? Like, no, it's all strategic in where I'm taking this conversation. It's all strategy. So keep that in mind. And what I would do is, like, if you just role play right now, watch, we don't even got to like do this with anybody in particular. But if I asked you, we're in a negotiation, I said, yeah, no, that's a little low, I'm going to think about that. Do you have a response ready? No. Most of you guys probably don't. No, okay, yeah, I'll call you Tuesday or whatever the case is. And that's a missed opportunity. This is the thing. You need to collapse the timeline. This is everything we've been talking about. A good wholesaler is super efficient and collapses the timeline to deal or no deal, yes or no, opportunity or not, dead or pursue it. So I want you to think about this. A lot of people, they don't realize this. You guys have the closing sheets. It's like 4 pages. I think, like, I don't know, maybe there's 40 pieces on there, maybe less, 30, 40 rehearsed closing pieces. Those closing pieces, right? So like, oh yeah, let me pull some up just so you guys see what I'm talking about. This is really, really important too. Hold on. Here we go. All right, so we all have this. You guys all have access to this sheet. These are all closing pieces. They handle just the most common objections, really. Oh, I want to speak to my spouse. I want to think about it. I want to wait, right? I'm not going to make a decision today. I want to wait again. So these are pieces, right? Everybody's goal should be to have this fully rehearsed. I got all of these pieces down pat, word for word. That should be the goal here. But these pieces, sometimes when you first look at these, you're like, I can't say that, or that's too pushy or whatever. So like, oh, I want to speak to the wife. What if they say no? All right, great. If they say no, no deal. All right. Would they say no to the price of the terms, or just any of these pieces, right? No, that's too low. Look, I'm with you, but it's not a disease. Let's just do it, or think about it, right? All of these pieces. What I want you guys to realize is, like, yes, it's an attempt to try and close the deal, but more times than not, what these questions do flush out the real objection. What I want you guys to understand is when people are sold, they pull the trigger, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. When you're fully sold on a product and you can do it, you do it. You make the purchase. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's get it done. So anytime, you have to really burn this into your head. Anytime somebody says, I want to wait, I want to think about it, anything other than yes, they are not 100% completely sold, because if they were, they pull the trigger and do it. Right. So what happens is, and I learned this the hard way. This is why I'm sharing this with you guys. When I was a newbie wholesaler, and I started to neglect all this stuff, didn't train like I did today. When somebody said, yeah, let me think about it, I want to wait, I'm going to speak to the spouse. All right. Yeah, great. Speak to the spouse. When should I follow up? Oh, call me Friday. All right, great. What happens? I call them Friday. Maybe I don't get them. Now I'm calling them Monday. Still don't get them. Now I call them Wednesday. I finally get them. Then what happens when you finally have that phone call? 90% of the time, it's a no. No, we're not going to do it. No, it's just you're too low. No, you got to come up in the price. It's no 90% of the time when you follow up off of I want to wait, I want to think about it, the spouse, whatever. So like these pieces, what you're doing is you're collapsing the timeline. It's all about collapsing the timeline. Ask them these pieces. Oh, I want to speak to the spouse. What if they say no? They'll no deal. All right. Well, they say no to the price of the terms. The price, it's too low. They didn't even speak to the spouse. So it's really them that has the issue with the price. So there's no point in this guy going and speaking to the spouse because he's not okay with the price. What do you think? Something magical is going to happen and the wife is going to sell this guy on my offer? No, he's not for it. He's going to be like, no, I think we can get more to the wife. And then I'm going to call him on the follow-up just to get that same answer that I could have got on the initial call. You understand that? Do you follow me with that? Yeah, let me think about it. I call them back because they want to think about it. Yeah, I thought about it. It's too low. Dude, flush the objection now on that initial phone call, not on the follow-up. You're wasting your time doing that. Flush it out. These people, more times when they say, I want to wait, I want to think about it, the spouse, it's a stall mechanism because they don't want to actually have to confront you. They don't want the confrontation, right? So flush it out. When I say, if I hit them with a piece, oh, they want to wait. Look, absolutely wait. You want 2-3 days, 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, call me Friday. That'd be more than enough time. Awesome. Look, anytime I think about something, I'm left with 3 questions. Can I share them with you? Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Well, when I'm thinking about something, first thing I think about is the price. Are you happy with the price? Yeah, well, the price is an issue. Great. So I know exactly what the issue is. What these questions do, these closing pieces do, sometimes they'll actually close the deal. More times than not, they'll flush out the unspoken objection. That's something that has to live in your head in the negotiation. Do I truly know the unspoken objection? If not, you got to flush it out. Right. And if they're not saying yes, then there's a 99% shot there's an unspoken objection there. Something there. It's either they're still stuck on the price, they're stuck on the terms, or they're stuck on you. It's only going to be those 3: price, product, or you. That's it. Well, really, I guess in real estate, price, terms, person, right? It's only ever going to be those 3 issues. And so what happens is, like this piece word for word, I'll pull it up so you guys can see it too. Think about it. Let's see. Right here, right? Yeah, I want to think about it, Eric. Awesome. Definitely should think about it. You want 2-3 days, 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, a couple of days. Call me Friday. Awesome. I mean, look, no matter how long you think about it, whether it's 2-3 days, 2 to 3 weeks, you're still going to be left facing the same 3 questions. Can I share those with you? Are you happy with the price? Are you happy with the terms? Are you happy with, with me? Wherever I get stuck, that reveals the issue. Are you happy with the price? Not really. It's quite a bit lower. Awesome. So there's no reason for this guy to wait because he's not sold on it. Right? People pull the trigger when they're sold. So and what these do is they flush out the objection. And when they finally flush it out, it's the price, it's the terms, maybe it's me. As soon as I can identify that unspoken objection, I'm no longer trying to close the deal. I'm now going back into, I need to sell them on what the problem is. Right? So it's the price. More times than not, that's what it's going to be. Also, get off of the price and go sell it. Are you happy with the price, or do you understand why I'm at the price I'm at? Yeah, not really. I mean, blah, blah, blah. Great. Awesome. Well, like we discussed earlier, the comp on 123 Main Street, blah, 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 whatever the case is. So, these pieces are so powerful for flushing out the unspoken or actually closing the deal. More times than not, I'm looking at these closes as a trial close, right? So let's, I'll just keep rambling because there's a few more things I could say to you guys. With anything that comes out of the seller's mouth when you present the offer, seller, I'm at $100,000. Oh, that's too low or whatever. You need to think is try and treat everything like a complaint until further validated as an objection. One thing I've noticed is this happens so many times with new people.
100%.
They present the offer, the seller complains about it, and they give way too much validation to what's actually going on. So I say as an example, right? They want 100. Seller, I got to be at 80,000. That's probably the most I could do. Oh my gosh, that's so low. And then what do most wholesalers do? Well, the comps and the this and the that, and they just try and sell why they're at that price. Totally incorrect. You don't have to do all that. Treat it like a complaint. So in that situation, you want to use what's called a trial close, and there's many on that PDF you guys have, right? That could be what? Oh my gosh, that's so much lower. Look, I know it's lower than what you wanted. Let's just do it. I'm going to send you the agreement. What's a good email for you? I'm telling you, more times than not, if you can treat everything like a complaint, you will convert more, because what could happen is they may complain, oh my gosh, Alex, 80 is so low. And then you go into your whole selling pitch, well, the comps and the this and the that, and you're giving more time for them to build a wall and get that guard even higher. Right. And now it's even harder to close that deal. When somebody's emotional and there's emotion in the negotiation early on, whatever, just again, treat it like a trial close, and you will watch stuff convert. You'll be like, holy crap, that worked. Right? 80,000. Oh my gosh, that's so low. Look, it's not a disease. You're not going to die from it. Let's just do it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's really, really low. This ain't the first time or the last time you're taking less than what you wanted. Let's just do it. If you have these pieces rehearsed, you'll be able to slide them in where they're appropriate. And I'm telling you, you will convert more without having to over explain and try and oversell the deal. And I'm telling you, I've seen that happen many times where that just kills the deal. Like, dude, you could have wrapped them right there, but now the deal, you just unwinded the deal further than where you just had it, because now you're talking too much. Right. So try not to talk too much, and
the first
try
call
not to the trial close. There was one here. This is what I was going to do for you guys, Alex. Since we've been chit chatting on here, what I'm going to test you. Ready? So I'm going to say something. Let's say you presented the offer, and tell me if what I'm saying is a complaint or a true objection. It's really important you can identify these two. So if I say, Alex, oh my gosh, dude, that offer's that's pretty low. Complaint or objection?
That's an objection.
Complain.
Like, you don't want to
complain.
Like, obviously, you don't want to actually deal with that price offer that we actually deal with. That I'm offering.
Here, I'll say this: a true objection is going to be the hard, firm no. Absolutely not. I'm not taking that. Okay. No way. That will not happen. That's a joke. They laugh at me. Yeah, right. You know, get out of here. That's a true objection. I don't want to try and trial close that person. But more times than not, people get it mixed up. They mix the two because somebody comes off hot. You know, it's one about how they're saying it, but two, more about what they're saying. I try and pay it what I call is the key words. I try and pay attention to the key words, right? Oh my gosh, that is so low. I don't think we could do that. I don't think we could do that is not a hard no, in my opinion. They don't think they could do it. They didn't say they wouldn't. If they say, try it one more time, Alex. If I tell you something like 100,000, Alex, dude, that's really low, man. Are you kidding?
That's a complaint.
Complaint, but it's easy to validate some of these as true. Or I'm sorry, yeah, that's a complaint, but it's easy to validate some of these just. Oh, I think it's a true objection when it's not. So treat everything like a complaint. Everything.
So basically, when you treat everything like it's not a complaint, it's basically you're not trying to be like, okay, he's turning you down and it's not a deal. No, complaint. Once you could actually just treat it as a complaint, you just put in your conscious mind situation where you feel like, no, you know you can fix it. So it's not like, okay, it's not a deal.
Any complaint, I'm going to first try as a trial close. Now, most of the time, it will end up being a true complaint and we got a battle, but you will watch, if you start implementing that, you'll see another 10, 15% of these people, they end up just doing it. All right, let's do it. Fine. Maybe they're not thrilled about it, but they'll do it. They'll just do it. They want it done and over with. So you have to try and get in the habit of the trial closes. What I did, to try and get good with some of these pieces was apart from the role play, when I'm actually making phone calls, I'm having the sheet out. So I would print that sheet out. That's where the book behind me is, all these pieces. And I would just have it open and, you know, look for the opportunity to slide these pieces in. Now, some of these pieces, or at least for myself, almost all of these pieces were too much. I'm like, dude, I can't say that. That's crazy. Or like, no, I can't, like somebody's going to freak out if I say that, or like, dude, that's ridiculous. That can't be real. And I'm telling you, it wasn't until I actually started using this that I was like, oh my gosh, that's actually gold. I was just on our team meeting this morning with the Axe. We do a team sales training meeting every morning with them. And I threw in a new piece. It was the thing about a piece. Right. So look, thoughts instantaneous. It's either you want to do it or you don't. Yay or nay. I'm fine with either one, but which one is it? And I see the smile come on the two new people. Like, you can't be serious. You know, there's no way you want me to say that to somebody. And so that's just what it is. A lot of these pieces, you don't see the power. You think it's like a joke or like that ain't going to work. I'm telling you, you start using all these pieces, you learn them all to where you could intertwine them. bro, it works like magic. It's disgusting how it works.
I feel like it's the respectfully, like at the same time, structured offer where you letting the person know that listen, blunt. I feel like some people have a tendency to, whenever you can be straight up and blunt with them, or without going around corners, a lot of people respect that, so they're more likely to be like, okay, yeah, you being straight up, and you understand that, okay, you understand your numbers, and I definitely understand that based on how you come off with the structured term.
And like Alex, what you're saying right now too, like, you know, how it's delivered. Deliverance is a huge piece. I almost the agents, I'm pretty straightforward. I'm playing the same character, same personality. When it's for sale by owners, I can be like a chameleon where I'm like changing personality to a degree, changing my character to this person. Like if I'm dealing with a real seasoned investor, then I'm speaking with a lot of conviction, a lot of confidence, you know, very confident in what I'm saying. If I'm speaking to some sweet old lady in her 80s, then I'm talking nice. I'm talking like this. I'm talking soft, right? So it's, you know what I mean?
There's a pace.
And that's also in the deliverance with these pieces too, how they're delivered. You know, the conviction is another huge piece, how you're saying stuff too, right? So what I think about too is, how does the person on the phone need to be spoken to? Like, how does this person need to be spoken to? I think about that a lot. You know, I go through my comments on TikTok, like my call videos or whatever, and I look at some of those comments, and these people are like, dude, I'd hang up on you in 2 seconds if you said that crap to me. But what they don't realize is, like, bro, I know who to say stuff to and who not to say stuff to. There's some people I'd say my bold piece because I know it's not going to offend them and I know it's going to work. Other people, I know if I say that piece to them, they're hanging up. That's not going to work on them, right? So you got to think, who am I speaking to? What can I say to this type of person? The more phone calls you do, the more role play you do, you'll be able to categorize people. I can categorize people and know who can I say to who, you know, what can be said, what would work on this person, what wouldn't, right? So it's all role play. Last thing,
at you first starting doing it, is it a case where you actually try to like pitch it out to a few people in random moments to see who you could actually really pitch it to?
Yeah, that's also how you're going to learn. You're going to learn through experience. So like one thing I think people worry about, like, oh, I'm going to kill the deal if I say something. Dude, you can curse the seller out. We still got the deal, because what you got to realize is, which you never want to do that, but you can say the most reckless thing to somebody. Don't ever call me back is what they tell you. They hang up, they block your number. It's still an active lead, because all you got to do is hop on the Zoom. Eric, I butchered it. Can you call them? Great. They don't know me. I'll recontract that deal right now. You know, so get reckless on the phone, start using these pieces, get really bold, because you're going to learn through that. Like, oh, that went really bad, or wow, that actually worked. You know, so you're going to learn through the experience of actually doing it. And you'll also learn even through the role play, right? That's a great place to start practicing. All right. Last little thing I wanted to talk about, you brought it to mind, Alex, was the deliverance, how you're actually saying stuff. So, you know, the closing pieces are cool. Yeah, you want to think about it? Great. You know, it's not a disease. Let's just do it. You know, so it's what we're saying, but it's a lot more of how it's being delivered. You know, like that's really where the punch is at. And so, and I've shared this a few times, but what you should really try and work on too, if you start role playing daily or just when you're on the calls, try and work on the conviction level of how you're speaking, right?
To be honest, Eric, I feel like when it comes on to me actually like saying over the phone, like I'm like, as an example, I'm talking to you and I'm knowing that you're actually big in the game. I kind of slightly feel nervous, but as soon as I get comfortable with you, I'm more like outgoing, more outgoing actually with my words. But for some weird reason, when I just start talking to people, I have a tendency to actually like speak and actually literally miss my words for some weird reason. As an example, even when I actually come on to like lying, you see, the fact that when I'm actually on the phone with the agent and sometimes I would actually be messed up is whenever actually I'm literally letting them know that, okay, I'm working with some big investors and stuff like that, but I don't have a close big investor to say, okay, yes, that's my partner. And yeah, we actually have some properties that we actually working on. We just closed a few properties the other day. And, you know, I'm actually currently looking for another property to actually, you know, cash flow in, or you know, so it's like, yeah. I feel like when everything more true, it's like I flow more easier that way in my conversation, because it's like literally totally true. If you want information, if you want proof of funds, if you want yeah, I could get it over right to you right away. And that's built more confident in me when he actually come on. So like the more confident I am, the more like freely I actually go when it comes to speaking over the phone.
Yeah, the
But I'm still working
confidence
on it.
only comes through repetition. That's it. Just think about it on like the simplest form, tying your shoes. Before you learn how to tie your shoes, you had no confidence in pulling that off. Yeah, right. That ain't gonna happen. But now you know how to do it. And you can do it with your eyes closed. A lot of confidence. Like, yeah, I could tie them 2 seconds. So it's the same thing. It's just repetition. Like, oh, I'm not comfortable making a phone call. Nobody is. There's not one. Dude, I've hired people. I've had brokers work for me in my real estate office. Like, yeah, I was a broker. Now I want to just get into sales. Like, all right. I've had insurance guys. Yeah, I sold insurance for 20 years. And guess what? They come in the office nervous as frick on the phone, not a clue what to say. Voice is shaking, the whole nine, because they don't know the real estate game. Confidence is only going to come through the repetition, period. Now, with the conviction piece, what I was starting to say, this is huge with persuasion. Huge, huge, huge. Everybody has their own conviction. Seller has a conviction that their home's worth 100. I got a conviction that it's worth 80. The only way they're going to transfer into their conviction to now having a conviction that the home's worth 80 is, one, the selling points, but also my conviction in what I'm saying. My conviction needs to be higher. That is how somebody gravitate towards me. If what I say, if what I'm saying and what I believe to be true, and I say that with more confidence than what they're saying to be believed is true, they will start to convert to me. That's it. That is how that works. Now, when I'm in a negotiation or I'm in a sell, I'm trying to hit them with a selling point. I'm trying to make a real valid, important piece, a very important part. It's delivered. I always try and deliver with a lot of conviction of what I'm saying. And the way you kind of work on the conviction muscle is just every single day, no matter who you're speaking to, work on speaking from high to low, and then it'll kind of become natural. If I said something like, look, I know it's lower than what you wanted, Alex. I mean, let's just do it. Not a lot of conviction. It doesn't sound like you're moving me in any way, right? But if I said, Alex, look, what was the piece? Look, Alex, I know it's lower than what you wanted. Let's just get it done and over with. We'll wrap this up today. So you see how the conviction is higher on what I'm saying? It's more compelling and it's more persuasive. Conviction is huge in the persuasion space. Huge. It's everything.
And that's what actually
so high. Try, Alex. Try from high to low. Just practice that.
Yes.
I've been practicing like how I speak with a lot of conviction now, dude. I never spoke like this ever. It was until I started practicing it.
To be honest.
And now it's you almost believe anything I'm telling you because the conviction, like, yo, this guy really believes what he's saying. And it might not even be all that much. Like, it might come off like, yo, he's super serious. He really believes what he's saying. But all of that could be false. I might not be serious at all. And more times than not, I'm not serious at all, but it's coming off that way. Like, yo, this guy means business. Right. So try the high to low, seller. What is your absolute rock bottom on the deal? What's the lowest you would take? Do you see how I'm going high to low? It's a lot more like, oh, yo, this guy's really trying to get the answer. And the other thing it does too is I'm blanking on the piece I was just going to drop, but it moves them a certain direction. It gets people to do what you want them to do. I did it by mistake in the in Walmart yesterday. I'm in there with the wife and the kid, and it's just a massive freaking traffic jam of cars, just absolute chaos in Walmart. And I was already like a little antsy. I hate shopping, and so just without thinking, I said like, "Hey, excuse me, can I get through here?" Like, but I did not like that, but I deliver with a shit ton of conviction, and it made like two of the women like. They jump back like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, yeah, get through. Like, yeah, sorry. Here you go. And it's just like, bro, if I said it like, hey, excuse me, can we get through here? It would have they would have, let me finish looking at what I'm looking at on the shelf. And all right, I'll start to move my car. But it's the conviction.
It's like it demands control.
Dude, that's exactly the word. You know, it's the control. You can control somebody through knowing negotiation, knowing persuasion, knowing closing pieces, and doing it all with conviction. It's control. I get what I want in life more times than not because of those things. And that's not a bad thing either. You know, don't think of it as like, yo, I just get my way. Sales is all about how do I get this person what they want while I get what I want at the same time. That's the mindset. You know, so it's not me, selfish me. Let me take advantage of people. That's not it at all.
I feel like once you know, when it comes to the numbers game, once you can master the numbers game, because numbers numbers never lie. So once you can master the numbers game and you know the numbers with everything, you can't go wrong. And by the end of the day, it's gonna be more like, you know, more power in you, just the fact that you know the numbers and you know what makes sense and what doesn't make sense and what can't work.
Numbers
are
more
confident that
but
way.
I'll say this, Alex. Numbers are cool. Negotiation skills a million times more important. Because you could know the numbers all you want, but if you're not a smooth talker, we both know the numbers. Maybe you're way better than I am at numbers. We get on the phone with the seller. You know the numbers great. I know the numbers too. Maybe I'm not nearly as good as you, but I'm way more skilled in the negotiation. Who's getting the deal? It's the negotiator every single time. I'm telling you, you go up against a seasoned salesperson. I promise you are crushed every single time. You're gonna get crushed, annihilated against the seasoned salesperson. That's just what it is. Now, I guess the good thing is 99% of people are just average negotiators at best. You know, they don't train. That's most people. So it really is. It is not hard at all to become a good negotiator. Just commit. You just got to make the commitment. Just like working out. Anybody can get jacked. You just got to do it long enough. All right. We only got actually, we're over. I got another Zoom right now at 5. Let's do any final questions for like 2 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. And then what we'll do, guys, is Thursday Zoom. We might skip the topic, and then we could just do Q&A and deal help you guys with whatever.
Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Any questions at all? I guess with anything we covered.
Thanks for your time, Eric. Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure. I could talk negotiation for days. Are we all feeling good?
Yeah, like you cleared up a lot of understanding that I had, but you know, just more like a blurred thought. You know, you start making me understand a lot more things more clear.
Awesome. Cool. All right.
Very informative.
Awesome. I love that. Good. I'm glad. So we'll you guys have Zoom with Terrell tomorrow morning. And then I'll be back with you guys on Thursday afternoon. So like I said, we'll do Q&A, we'll do deal help. If we got time at the end, maybe we squeeze in a topic. I guess we'll see. So, all right, guys, enjoy the day, and I'll
thanks, Eric. Appreciate
catch up with you guys Thursday.
Thank you, Eric.
Be
Bye.
easy, everyone.
Thank you so much. Peace out.
See you, Joe.